Hi guys, this is Fabian again. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for watching and for being here. I hope you all had an amazing, that everything's going well in your life, that you have good health, that you have a job, if not, that you're motivated, that you have a goal and purpose in life that is right for you to be able to be happy and take care of your mental health, and that your families are all good, that you have food in your house and a roof and a bed. That's the most important thing. And well, thank you for taking the time to see this. Today I decided to do a video, like a small guide, how to get a scholarship and study for free in first world countries, in some of the best universities in the world, and how to actually survive there once you arrive. The first things that I like to focus on. However, I'm not going to talk much about this because it has already been done in the former videos. So if you would like to, you might want to take a double look or double check those YouTube channels so that you learn a little bit more about the application process. But yeah, that's the first thing that you need to make sure of to apply, to make sure that your motivation letter is on point, that you have your recommendation letters done by your professors or bosses or references. Colleagues can be as well, volunteer friends or allies, whatever you think it's necessary for you to earn this scholarship that will make it will solidify your application. Make sure everything's on point, your resume as well, that is based on that country that you're applying for. So make sure that you apply once you actually fill all those checks, all those boxes, because without applying, you'll never get it, right? Life is about taking risks. It's about being brave. I know you got this. I know you're able to get a scholarship overseas and study the career that you want to aim for. But it's important for you to know that by applying, you'll be able to actually fulfill that dream. And even if you get rejected, don't give up and keep going, right? That is the mindset that you need to have for you to study overseas. The second thing that you need to take in consideration when studying abroad is the administrative tasks done. It's highly important for you to keep an eye on the deadlines, not only for the application of the scholarship itself, but for instance, for the visa appointments. If you need a student visa, most likely for you to arrive to that country, right? Or the passport if you don't have one. That is the first thing that you need to make sure of. By the way, that is a good advice that I like to give you on this video. If you're looking to study overseas, please make sure that you already have your passport up to date and valid. Make sure of that. And the administrative task can also be getting the transcripts translated to the target language that you're looking to apply for. Most likely English, but there's other people, of course, that are looking to study their masters or their bachelors or their PhDs in French, in German, and in Italian, Spanish, whatever. Make sure that you have your documents from your home country, your language, translated to that language that you'll be studying for. Most of them will have a price. So make sure that you investigate that on the internet, so that way you have everything in order and you don't have issues, right? There's another one that a lot of the first world countries ask for once you arrive to that country is you need to make sure that you solidify basically or confirm your visa status there, that you'll be staying for the long term. It also costs. It also has a price included there, so consider that. Consider that you need to make sure that you get all these things done. And it's very related to budget, which is the third thing that you need to do when you are studying abroad. Prices. This one I'll focus more than on the previous ones, because this one, first of all, is highly related to the administrative tax. Sorry. And like I mentioned you previously, there's some of these tasks that require an amount, so it's important for you to prepare a budget. Even though you'll be getting a scholarship, and I said in one of the videos, there's an investment that has to be done. In order for you to earn that scholarship, beforehand, you need to invest. But also once you arrive to that country, the first month, especially the first month, is going to be a little bit more expensive or more costly than the upcoming months, because in the first month you'll be establishing yourself in that country. So for instance, let me give you one of the best examples that I can give you is, on the first month, most likely you're not only going to need to pay for the phone bill. So let's say a monthly plan of 15, 20, 10 euros, dollars, etc. But also for the SIM card, the small chip, that we introduce in ourselves. In our phones, that we insert in our phones. You'll need to get that. Right? Sometimes it costs $10, $5 euros. So those small costs, micro expenses, you need to consider those ones. Or for instance, the other one, once you arrive to the airport, to that country, you need to get from the airport to your house, to your Airbnb, for instance. There's some countries also that, you might get a student dorm, which is the cheapest option. Maybe not the cheapest, but a cheaper one than an Airbnb. But on the first days, maybe you'll have to live on an Airbnb, right? You accommodate yourself there while they get your student, all the administrative tasks that has to be done for the student dorm, for you to be able to live there. So on the first day, you can actually rent an Airbnb, which is a bit more expensive than a student dorm, and live there. So you can consider all those budgets, especially for the first month. Trust me, that is something that I wish I would have known. And thankfully, I got a full scholarship, and I also had some savings, even in my home country. I'm someone who strongly believes that even though if you live in a third world country, you can be very disciplined and focused. Even if you make a small income, shorten your expenses for a long-term goal. And I was able to do that. And now that I look back, I was like, wow, if I would have been broke, even with a scholarship, there's some small cost that has to be done in the first month. That first month is key. Also, your student dorm might already be furnished. You will already have a bed. However, like for instance, this one has a lamp. It has two lamps, actually, the one where I'm recording the video at, so that way it improves my lighting. It has two trash cans. It has two trash cans, and a refrigerator. It has a shower, a toilet, a sink for me to wash my hands. However, it doesn't have some other utensils for me to cook or for me to clean. Right? It doesn't have a sheet. I have a bed, for instance, but it didn't include the sheet and the pillows or the mattress. Right? So the mattress, the cover, the sheet and the pillow are not here. There wasn't also a sponge for me to bath myself, nor a soap, nor toothbrush, nor toothpaste. Luckily, a lot of those I brought them on the travel bag when I came here, right? So please consider that. Do yourself a favor and don't neglect all those micro expenses that can be costly. And once you're there after the first month, I will still advise you that create a budget. I know it's something that you're in a first world country or a different country. It doesn't have to be first world, and you're turning abroad, right? And you're getting like a monthly, pretty much a salary or stipend for you to study in that country. But be careful with spending crazy, going out, partying, and traveling like crazy, buying chocolates and cheese and I don't know, food from that country that you're visiting. I know it can be very tempting, but and that is okay. It's okay for you to have fun, but please make sure that all your basic expenses are covered on a monthly basis. I'm thinking about like 5 monthly basic needs that are extremely important. I'll add 6 actually. The first one is rent, whether you're in a student dorm, Airbnb, house, whatever, apartment. Make sure that is like the most important one. Most of them are, I'll put a second one. That this one is most likely that you won't have to pay, especially if you arrive as a foreign student, because most of the time it's already included in the rent. But if not, please consider electricity, water, and heating, and trash. If it's usually with water, pretty much the housing expenses. Those ones are like very, extremely important. Then is food. I usually combine these ones with between restaurants, but most of the time you should aim to eat from home, so that way you don't spend like crazy. And the fourth one is a phone bill. Please make sure that you cover all that. That phone bill, you don't have to get like a super expensive phone. I would advise you that if you already have your phone from your home country, use that one, so that way you only pay the phone bill. But that one is key. Of course, you're gonna have Wi-Fi in the university, maybe in the student dorm, on banks, on supermarkets, etc., on shopping malls. But it's okay, especially if you use Google Map, to have at least the cheapest phone bill that you can get. I don't think we need a super expensive phone bill. Honestly, I don't know why there's these people that is obsessed with having like the best mobile data internet that there can be, because even Google Maps works without. If you already like, I'm going to get a little bit off topic here, but I don't know if you realize, but if you go out of the before going out and you're at a place like that has Wi-Fi on it, and you search for your destination on Google Maps, once you're out of the place, and let's say you don't have internet, your phone bill isn't, your mobile data isn't working, Google Maps is still going to display your destination point. So it's not like you need mobile data that much. That is just a hot take that I have. Some of you guys might disagree, and that's okay. But yeah, it's also important, mobile data. That's the fourth one. The fifth one is, and this is good for your mental health. Find it if your university has a gym, can give you access to a gym or to a sport. In general, I think it's important for you to to exercise yourself where you're out. It's good for your mental health and for your physical health. Remember, you're going to be far away from your friends and family, and I think it's important for you to make sure that you're doing a physical activity, that you're going out, at least go hiking or go swimming, whatever. So make sure of that. And for you to have fun, not only in sports, but maybe go to a movie theater with your friends, or go to a bar or to a club sometimes. I don't know if you like that. Make an effort to go out with the locals, so that you can adapt yourself to that country. That's another advice that I would give you. Now that we're talking a bit of, I know we're talking about budget, but make sure that you have a budget for outdoor activities, because those are extremely important, especially for your mental health and for you to adapt to that country while you'll be studying there. Remember, you'll be spending up to 4 years in a foreign country, and like, once again, out of your hometown, out of your country, out of your language, without your family, your friends. So make sure that you're taking well care of that. And the last one is health plan. Some countries have a public health plan, some others don't. And if it's not included, please make sure that you have a budget for your monthly health plan, because it's going to save you a lot of money if you have an accident, or God forbids that, and we hope it doesn't happen to you, right? But we hope that if that happens, you don't have to spend a huge amount of money, and that the scholarship through that that health plan, is able to cover your health expenses. So with that being said, thank you for watching this video. I know your time is valuable, and for reaching up to this point. If you have any suggestions, please leave them in the comment section, and any ideas, it'll be great for them to be displayed on your and for me to be able to help you. And please leave a like, subscribe, and see you on the next one.